Welcome back to Live in the Moment, presented by Legends in the Making and Western New York Football Report. I am Tyler Gilbert. To my right is Leon Thompson, also from Western New York Football Report. To our left is Dylan McDuffie from Legends in the Making. And we got some special guests again this week. To my left is Cam Melendez. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a sports media major at St. Bonaventure University as a senior. I'm from Jamestown, New York. I played football, baseball, and basketball there in high school. Played college baseball at Jamestown Community College and redshirt at St. Bonaventure University for baseball. So that's a little bit about me.
And then we have two of the very high-powered Bennett Tigers with us. On the right is E. Ryan Lawrence. On the left is Jack Eskridge. Guys, give your class, your position, and actually what schools are interested in you, or if you have any offers, list them.
Who's going first? I'm going first?
Yeah.
My name's E. Ryan Lawrence. I'm the class of 2025. I go to Bennett High School, and I'm getting looks from Central Connecticut, UMass, Sacred Heart, Penn State, and that's really all right there.
And how about you, Jack?
I'm Jack Eskridge. I go to Bennett. I play receiver. I'm getting looks from UMass, UB, Rutgers, Merrimack. And that's Rutgers. Oh, yeah, I said Rutgers. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Okay, well, those are some pretty impressive offers, guys, or interest, regardless of it. Who's in the forefront? Like, if a team offered you today, between the two of you, where would you like to sign? We'll start with you, Ryan.
Penn State.
All right, that's what I like to hear as a Penn State guy. What about you, Jack? If you could sign at any school with any of your offers, where would it be?
Rutgers, for sure.
Okay, why Rutgers?
Because they've been on me since I was a freshman, like 8th grade going into my freshman year.
Okay.
So they got real interest in me.
Okay, so you're showing the same love back to them that they've showed you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You don't see a lot of kids do that. And then, guys, we've had some great football the past couple weeks since the last time we've all sat down. Leon, what's been your takeaways from the last couple of weeks?
Takeaway from the last couple of weeks, really, for the most part, is just the fact that we have got one hell of a playoff race coming up very soon. You know, there's a lot of divisions that are still wide open. Both sections of C are still wide open. A and most of B are still wide open. You know, Double A is basically locked up by these two guys right here in their squad. But, other than that, there's just still going to be a great couple of weeks of football coming up. You know, a lot of key matchups coming down the stretch for really getting that seeding taken care of and who's in, who's out. This is where it gets good.
No, absolutely. This is our favorite time of year. It's the playoff push time. Dylan, what have you seen the last couple of weeks that you've liked here in Section 6 or Monsignor Martin?
Seen some explosive players, I would say. I mean, these guys we got here with us today, I've been seeing them all year make a lot of plays. Eli Kimball, my little cousin Noah McDuffie. So we got a bunch of talent that I feel like, you know, right now everybody's kind of starting to get into a rhythm playing. We at that point in the season where the guys that's getting hot, you can see, like, you know, they coming into games ready to go, like carrying it over week after week, consistency. So.
No, absolutely. There's been you can see a lot of teams are starting to gel. We're heading into week 7 now, so they've had 6 weeks to put it all together and perfect their craft. And, you know, a lot of teams are doing it just like Bennett Tigers and these two boys that we have up here. And then Cam is the media guy. You get the best shot. You're behind the camera. What have you seen that you likes?
A lot of competitive ball lately. I mean, you see between Jamestown playing Bennett and Jamestown against Lancaster, it's all been really one possession games. It's really coming down to the line, and that is showing what these players are actually able to do and actually playing at their full potential throughout these last couple of weeks, in my opinion.
No, that's not opinion. That's fact. It's been extremely competitive. And then you touched on Bennett Jamestown. You guys saw Bennett saw Jamestown, and then you guys saw Lancaster, back to back. What was that like to see kind of the two upper echelon teams that are up there with you guys back-to-back weeks?
That's me?
No, this is Bennett boys,
my
man.
fault. I didn't hear it.
I say just preparing for them, actually, because, like, we knew they was going to be ready for us for sure. Like, we ain't, like, it was no doubt, like, we not, like, underestimating nobody in our league. So
We was just preparing, good practicing. Like Dylan said, being consistent and stuff. We were just getting ready. And then at that, I say Lancaster, we're at their field. We're at their home. So just being ready for them because we knew like they ain't going to back down from us. So.
No, that's a hell of a football team over there with the Lancaster Legends. And then, Jack, what was that experience like? I know you're a transfer from Canisius, so that was your first real time being, Lancaster, Bennett, and they've been going at each other for the Section 6 title in Class AA for the last couple of years now. So what was that experience like preparing for probably seeing them again this November?
I just feel like we had to be ready. You feel me? Like, straight good practices, no days off. And we knew that they was going to go all out, so we had to too.
No, you guys did it. I mean, it was a rainy, sloppy game, but you guys pulled it out. Noah McDuffie with the game-sealing pick while Lancaster was driving. What is it like to be the hunted? You guys have ran Class AA for 2, 3, 4 years, as long as I can remember. What does that feel like, always having that target on your back, knowing that someone's gunning to knock you guys off?
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard feeling to describe. I say like just being prepared for it, because it's people coming for you, like you just being prepared and like mentally prepared and stuff like that. I just feel like being ready, like you gotta be ready for it.
What about you, Jack? What's that feeling like?
We just can't be slacking. Like, we just gotta be on all 10, all times.
And absolutely right. And then Dylan, you help over there at Bennett coaching with your uncle. What words have you given not only to these two guys, but that team about that idea of like you're always going to have a target on your back?
I think that, when you're on a team that is having success for years and, people want to knock you off, obviously, it's just most important to compete with yourself, because at the end of the day, like your ceiling can be here and somebody else's ceiling can be here. And if you're just trying to, worry about them and beat them, then you could be limiting yourself still at the end of the day. So I think that one of the things that we focused on, like with these guys specifically, like, like how can they get better? Like, moving them around different places in the offense or, teaching different terminology to like make the offense more diverse for them, because as you see, like getting double covered, right?
Yeah,
people
triple cover.
Yeah, people rolling coverage your way.
Yeah.
So what do we do? What happened? What you do?
Wide open.
Feel me? And it's like at the end of the day, like that happened because stuff we were practicing in August during training camp, like we didn't run it, do none of that stuff, none of the first 4 games, but a game we needed, we you know what I mean? So I think it's just staying ready for that one moment call. And that's one of the things I was very proud of them, because football, like all the great coaches that I've been around, they talk about like being ready for the one moment call, because you can only surprise somebody with something for the first time, and then like you setting something up all game, and then boom, you're gonna add your little wrinkle to catch them on it,
right?
And they were ready for that, and they've been doing that all year. So that's what I'm really proud of, just how locked in they are.
We're going to have to get Coach McDuffie on here sometimes, because the disposal of weapons he has on offense, I don't know if your uncle would be cool with talking about it. I was being serious, because to talk to him, he has had such talent at his disposal for years. Last year he had Jameer Thomas along with E. Ryan Lawrence, Joe Littlejohn, Sherrard Bernard. This year it's almost like the seniors never left. So I would love to sit there and talk to him and see how he, figures out the stuff. So playoffs are approaching soon. I want to hear from the two young guys from Bennett first. What are your thoughts going into playoffs? You guys, as long as you guys win out, you have the, first round bye. What are your thoughts going in? And do you think you guys have a realistic shot at going to states and playing in the Carrier Dome?
Yeah, we just gotta pretty much continue on getting better every day. Like keep lifting, keep practicing hard. Yeah, we got a pretty good shot. I mean, our team is young, but still, we just gotta stay mentally prepared going into playoffs. Practices, like I said, every day. And still, like not underestimating anyone. Just because we beat them the first time, don't mean we could beat them the second time. So, just yeah.
And then what about you, Jake? What are your thoughts going into playoffs here?
I feel like we going all the way. I ain't gonna lie. like I'm real confident in my guys. Like we getting better, we getting stronger, all that. So, I mean, we going all the way.
And then Leon, as someone who reports on the game, what are you looking for going into playoffs? It doesn't have to be a certain class. It doesn't have to be a certain team. But what are you looking for? We're going into playoffs here.
This is the time of year to win in any way possible. Style points are over. If you can still get them, great. But most likely with where you're, this is where you're going to be facing really just the nitty gritty of it. You got to strap your helmet up and just get ready to win out there every week. You know, you can't be ready to say, oh, I'm going to drop 60 on this team. I'm going to drop 60 on that team. You got to be prepared to take a 20-13 win like you guys did in Lancaster.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be prepared to see different things from teams that you've been watching film on all year that are trying to do everything they can to make it in or get a better seed for themselves. You are going to get the best of the best out of every single person that you are going to be across from here on out, whether it's these next 2 weeks, whether it's in the playoffs. So I'm looking to see who can adapt. I'm looking to see who can change. I'm looking to see who can add something to their game this late in the season to really make a difference. And I think those are going to be the players that we're going to be talking about when we're in here next time.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be in here after the first week of playoffs. Cam, heading in the playoffs here, what are you looking for?
I feel like it's all toughness, enthusiasm, and discipline from each side of the team. I mean, you got to be better than the guy in front of you. Coaches got to outcoach the other coach to get to where they want to be at the end of the day. For Bennett guys, you see them, they're gonna most likely be in the one spot. I see them, just like Jack said, to go to the Carrier Dome. They have everything that they need to do so. So I mean, they have the weapons, they have the coaches to do so, and I would take them to go all the way in AA for sure.
And then Dylan, what are your thoughts going into playoffs here?
Man, how many weeks we got to the playoffs?
Got to.
I don't know yet, to be honest. Like,
Okay.
Just being real, like you gotta
like
take it
that.
a week at a time. You know, like gotta play every game first. But I think that going into playoffs, like y'all said, you're gonna get everybody best shot. But I think that, you know, one of the things that like these boys know is that they get that every week. So I think that they just gotta keep going about their process, how, you know, regularly they have. But other teams, I think that if I had something to say to like coaches or players that were, you know, just trying to get ready for playoffs, I would just say leave it out there, you know, like don't be too cool for everything. You know, if you know your teammates are in practice slacking or something like that, don't be afraid to speak up. And, you know, season ends quickly and it's going to be a long off season. So just leave it out there.
No, it absolutely does. Your season could end within a snap of a fingers, especially for the seniors who probably don't want to go out before the playoffs or in the playoffs. Big thing I'm looking for, and not a lot of people are talking about it, but Class C playoffs look crazy. There are, I think, 7 out of the 8 teams in the playoff slots right now are all at 5-1, and there's one team at 4-2. So there's a lot of good competitive teams in there. They love going at each other. I mean, Salamanca just happens to be the best of the best in Class C. I mean, they're 6-0. They're blowing teams out left and right. I'm excited to see them come playoff time. I'm excited to see what goes on in C North, and who knows, maybe we'll see Salamanca again at Highmark.
As far as C South goes, I think Chautauqua Lake's coming.
That's another good team that a lot of people wouldn't have talked about.
I haven't got to catch them or catch a game. You think they're coming? Like they're a good team?
I haven't gotten to catch a game either to actually see them, but everything I'm hearing from people that have seen them, you know, everything that I'm seeing in the film that I've watched from some kids, you know, everything that I'm seeing just on the stat sheets, their smallest win margin since getting blown out by Salamanca in the first week is 28 points. So that's another team down there, down south, that is doing what they have to do, and they're doing it, and they're dominating it.
And then you look up north, and you got a team like Alden 5-1. You got Newfane 5-1. Medina 5-1. Cleve Hill is 4-2. So it's very, very tight. I mean, this, like last year, I remember there was a 4-4 team that got in with C. I think there was actually a 3-5 team in Cleve Hill who snuck in. It's just extremely tight and extremely close, and we can't wait to see them go at it all fall. And we'd like to thank Imperial Pizza over there on 1665 Main Street. They hooked us up with a pizza for tonight's podcast, so shout out to them, and thanks for the pizza.
Y'all go pull up and see them, man. They got the best pizza in Buffalo. I think that I'm kind of hungry. It might be time to grab. Y'all hungry? All right, let's crack it open.
All right, so question for you guys. If you had to pick, and I mean, this is almost kind of like one of those, like, death ray on the earth situations, aliens are coming, you're basically Michael Jordan trying to build a team to face the Monstars. Give me either a starting offense or a starting defense for all Western New York guys.
We'll start with the Young Bucks. Let's go, E. Ryan. Offense or defense, and then pick your 11.
All right, I'm gonna go offense.
Okay.
Okay.
At quarterback, I'm gonna start with the kid from Clarence.
You going Bryce?
Yeah, he tough.
Okay.
Or Gavin.
Gavin Schwab from
Yeah,
Pioneer?
Yeah.
I like it.
Me at the one, of course. I got Jack and slot.
You got the one. Let's
Yeah.
talk football. What receiver you playing? You playing X or Z?
X.
All right, there we go.
Others, I got Jaden on the other side at Z. Let me see. At running back, I got Eli and Adam. Or Shamir. When.
And then just, you could pick an O-line from any school. You don't have to individually list them.
Franny's.
Oh, okay.
Franny's.
Okay. Jack, you going to go offense or defense?
I'm an old guy.
Okay.
Offense.
Give us your dream starting 11 here in Western New York.
My receiver core, I got E. Ryan, wide out. Me, slot. Jaden Clark, wide out. Do I need another slot or not?
Depends. You could go 4 wide if you want.
I'm going to go for a wide. And I got my guy, Damari Yancey, in the other slot.
Ooh,
And I got
speed.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
quarterback, probably my quarterback, Jordan
Okay.
or Gavin from Pioneer. Running back, Eli, Tyrone, or Shamir. Then O-line, probably Canisius O-line.
Kinesis is O-line. Okay. All right, Leon, you're going to break up the monotony here because you're the defensive guy. Give us your starting 11 on defense.
All right. And my bookends with these two guys, it doesn't really matter, strong or weak side. I got Mason Allnut and LaFerald Hines.
Farrell. That's very tough.
Strong side inside, give me Sam Ikaquanu. Weak side inside, give me Lemmy Johnson Bates out of McKinley.
Okay. Word.
We're actually gonna run a 4-2-5 with this.
I
My
like
two
it.
linebackers give me Lucas Lombardo and give me Kamari
Reimers from Illinois.
Reimers. For my slot corner, and this is the one I might catch a little bit of heat for, but just because the kind of defense I'm setting up, I'm kind of looking for my crash outs. I'm looking for my guys with tenacity. Give me Jeff Long in my slot corner out of Clarence. Because he can kind of fill either that linebacker or that coverage corner role just with how he plays. At my first corner, give me Cardell Staples. Second corner, give me who's the kid from Salamanca?
Corey Holleran.
Corey Holleran.
He's actually a safety, not to break your heart.
Is he really?
He is.
Well, that's gonna make that conversation a little bit easier. For my two safeties, give me him and Noah McDuffie.
All right, so you have,
I got one more corner
Yep.
left.
who is it? You know, not to influence your decision, but there's a pretty damn good corner sitting right next to you.
No cap.
You know what? I think that's who I got to go with. Really thinking about it though, because I was trying to think of other guys, and you know what? It is really just the guy right next to me.
Booty beat.
We'll swing it over to you, Cam. Offense or defense?
Offense.
All right, give me your starting 11.
I'm going to take probably Tubin at quarterback.
Okay.
It's between probably him and he lit up Jamestown Ciano.
Brady Ciano
Yes.
from Orchard Park.
Yes.
Okay.
E. Ryan at the wideout. Jack probably at the slot. I'm going to take Jaden from Canisius at the other wideout. Kimball at the running back.
All you got left is an offensive line from any school of your choice.
I would say Canisius or Franny's.
Oh, you got to pick one.
Probably Canisius.
There you go.
Probably Jordan Love. Yeah.
All right, Dylan, you can go offense or defense here.
I know I'm gonna go offense.
All right, give us your starting 11.
Okay. Quarterback, I'm probably gonna go Landon Welker or Bryce Tubin.
Go Landon.
Landon Welker's tough.
Landon Welker.
He was my quarterback my JV year. JV.
What was it? What? Not to interrupt Dylan, but what was that like playing with him?
Bro, he's a dog. Like even if it's double cover, he's still gonna throw it up to you. All you gotta do is let him know he. That's one thing he trusts his receivers for sure. Like he gonna give you a shot. He tests his luck. That's one thing about
I was
Landon.
just gonna say he's a gambler, but he's winning those gambles, and I would be too.
Yeah,
You know,
he'll run it too.
I was just about to say he reminds me of like Josh Allen and like a Johnny Manziel body. He's not a really big guy,
Yeah,
but man, he sure plays like he is.
yeah, he'll run that thing.
He's a great quarterback to run that read option with. It's really like when we watched that Brandy's Joe's game, that's really what I gathered. Like between that and just the throws that he was able to make, I mean, that really makes their offense over there.
No, absolutely. Landon Welker is definitely a quarterback. He jumped up my list after we saw him on Friday night. But back to Dylan's top 11 players.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Landon or Bryce at quarterback. It don't really matter. Just a coin flip for it.
Okay.
Running back, I'm gonna go Eli.
Okay.
You know, my two outside receivers, I'm gonna take obviously Ryan and Jaden. My slots, Jack and Dom Cook Jr.
Okay.
Um,
And then your offensive line's all you got left.
Canisius or Franny's.
You got to pick one.
I'm gonna go Canisius.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Canisius.
Now, I'm more of an offensive guy myself, but Leon's the only one to do a defense. So I'll join you. I'll try my hand at the defensive side of things. And my
Just on camera, no pressure.
yeah, no big deal. No big deal. And my two defensive ends, I'm gonna very similar with you, LaFerald and Mason Allnut. One's pretty simple. For my interior defensive lineman, Sam Ikeguanu. At the other D tackle, I'm gonna go Ty Richardson from Pioneer. He's another big boy who could get after the quarterback. My three linebackers, I'm gonna have Lucas Lombardo. I like Eric Abernathy as a linebacker.
Okay.
I know he's a star wide receiver there for McKinley, but I like the way he plays on defense. We've got a chance to see him a couple times now. In the middle, damn, I should have stuck to offense. In the middle, I'll take Kamari Reimers as well. For my two safeties, Noah and Jeff, that's a no-brainer. For my two corners, I'm going to go Cardell and Ryan. And if we need to sub out one of those linebackers, I'm going to take Deontay Rogers from Ken West.
That one's a sleeper, but I like it.
You know,
Ken West been balling.
Mm-hmm. They have been balling.
knocked
We're gonna
off.
talk about playoffs. That's a team we got to talk about.
The Ken West Blue Devils have knocked off two ranked opponents in the last 2 weeks since the last time we sat down, actually. Knocked off McKinley at All High, beat Starpoint at Starpoint. So not only are they getting ranked wins, they're doing it on the road in hostile environments.
They're doing it in style.
And I mean, they have some good players that, you know, we know about because, you know, we follow them a little bit. But for the rest of you guys who may not, Harlem Brannon, Deontay Rogers, and Jack Johnson. Three outstanding players. Jack Johnson's the quarterback. He's really found his groove with throwing the ball. Harlem Brannon is one of the running backs. He's could do it all. You need him to run the ball, he can do it. Catch the ball out of the backfield, he can do it. You needed him to return kicks or punts. He scored on a couple of those this year. And then Deontay Rogers plays both sides of the ball, offense, defense. He's an outstanding player, and we can't wait to see Ken West come playoff time. I know that's one of the places like we're picking to go regardless of who they get matched up with.
I mean, we saw him week one. You know, very first game against Will East. And I mean, it was a week one game. Every team had it, you know. You go out there, you're still kind of installing certain things, figuring out how everyone meshes, how all the new pieces work and everything. And I mean, just the game that they put out, I mean, they won that game because they never gave up. And,
Yeah.
I mean, to come down to the very last offensive play where, Jack Johnson just threw a bomb. I mean, it was just an awesome thing to see. I'm glad we were there for it. But, I mean, that's who they are. I mean, even with putting up a lot of points against teams, even with, shutting out teams or different things like that, they're still just not giving up. No matter what position they're in a game, they play a full 4 quarters. And those are the teams that you got to look out for. Those are the teams that are dangerous coming down the stretch because they're going to play you all 4 quarters, even if you're up by 30. So you can beat them, but you're going to be beat up for doing it. So those are the teams, win or lose, that you really got to look out for.
And they like to talk. I like that about them. At first when we saw them week 1, they were talking, and it was like, oh, you guys really haven't been good as of recently. Why, I like people who can back up their talk. But all year, they've proved me wrong. So I'm excited to see it. I'm happy for them. It's good to see teams shock you. I know a lot of these teams that are, hovering around might think, oh, we don't get covered because we're this and that. We really root for all of you guys. Really. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. We like rooting for you. And that kind of brings up a question I got for everybody. What's a team that surprised you this year? A team that's doing well that you may have not expected. And we'll start with the young boys.
Timing.
Timing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll only say timing because the score against what was the score against
Canisius?
Yeah.
35-14, Canisius won it.
I wasn't at the game, I couldn't make it, but when I asked somebody, it was a close game at one point. So I thought it was keeping up with Canisius.
They came out 14 zip.
Yeah. But I feel like timing from moving up to Monsieur Martin this year, they got to play Franny's. So once they play Franny's, I feel like that'd be a good game too.
I don't want to change the question, but kind of going into what you just said. What you played in Monsieur Martin in Section 6? What's the difference to you?
The competition is one. That's the biggest one. And I say the environment of it, like public school. It's we sharing the field. We can't use it like the locker room. We can't leave our stuff around because we don't know if it's gonna get stolen or not. Private schools, you got your own locker room. You can hang your stuff up in your locker. Yeah, that's pretty much the 2 biggest things. And the school, actual school. I say from transitioning to an all boys school, transitioning to from an all boys school going to a public school, you seeing females, I feel like that's a big transition, coming from an all boys school.
Either ladies, man, too. Don't let them fool you.
I know. I see both of these boys with their fresh cuts.
Yeah,
you told them they were going to be on a podcast. They went and got lined up.
I told him, I said, bro, I'm not getting on it if I don't got no cut. He said, come on, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't got no cut. He said, all right, I'm gonna make you a deal. If you if I take you to go get a haircut, you got to get on. I said, all right.
It's a small price to pay for good content.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, we know this episode's going to get shared at this point, so I'm good with that.
And then, Jack, a team that, whether it's Monsignor Martin or Section 6, that surprised you this season?
I say Canisius. I ain't gonna front because when I was there, it looked like a lot of pieces was leaving. I transferred, so I thought they wasn't gonna have no quarterback, all that. But I still feel like team last year a little bit better than this year, but they've been balling lately. You feel me? So yeah.
I mean, it's easy to be balling when you got number 0 in the backfield and number 8.
Same question. My bad, y'all. But
No,
same question, Jack. You played Monsieur Martin and Section 6. What's the difference to you?
I say the competition. Big difference. Not too much, but it's a difference.
What you mean?
Monsignor Martin, feel like you play comp back to back weeks. And then when you come public school, you don't play that much comp. Not back to back weeks at least. No offense. We just played Frontier. Them boys is always 6 and they wasn't good. Then we playing.
I don't want to cut you off, but is it how like y'all feel like teams like y'all play for Bennett? You know what I mean? Y'all are considered the best public school around by a lot of people. So like you feel like when y'all stepping on the field, half of the games or half of the teams y'all playing don't even want to play y'all.
That's how
You know what I
You
mean?
could tell, like for me, you could like I'd look like when we're during the coin toss, I look. You could tell like when they scared, and like it's kind of funny, but it's not like because like when we was playing Frontier, like I kind of felt bad at one point, like bro. I don't like no offense, but like it's like damn, bro.
From a guy who has played on both sides of that, both getting blown out and blowing teams out, we at least if you're doing it the right way from a culture standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, even if you're getting blown out, those guys were finding a way to have fun with it. And if
Yeah,
not,
they
then
was.
something else is up.
Yeah,
You know, like just being in those games either way, like you know what the result is. You still gotta go out there and
have
finish
fun.
it.
Yeah,
you
they,
know?
I'm not gonna lie, they was having fun. They kept their energy up. The old line was kind of talking a little trash to our defensive
Well, you
line.
got to. I mean, you got to.
Yeah, they was having fun with it. One of the receivers, he was talking a little smack to me.
Did he not know who you were?
Man,
I mean, not everyone watches film. I understand.
yeah, he was talking a little smack, but like I ain't really want to say nothing to him because like I'm a hothead on the field, so it's just like I just chose not to say nothing.
Once
Just
you
laugh.
start, you can't stop.
Yeah, like once I start talking smack, I ain't stopping.
Nah,
Like,
I
Well,
ain't gonna lie.
hey,
Duff
being
gotta shut me
self-aware
up.
is half the battle.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I was on two head. I ain't gonna fret. Like after
Jeff be talking crazy.
I ain't gonna fret.
Oh God, Jeff on here.
I ain't gonna fret.
yeah.
I was on two head. Like when I threw him, I had to feel like you feel me. I feel like
Feel
I'm
strong,
5'6". I feel like 6'5".
So I'm gonna act. We'll get back to the question I originally asked, but talking about this and the level of comp here in Section 6 and between Monsignor and Martin, would you guys like to see them do away with the class size and you legitimately play like better teams, right? So it'd be like, say you take all the sectional winners. So like, let's say you guys win, double A, Clarence wins single A, whoever wins C, and CSP will win D, right?
Make a champions class.
And then maybe add in like a couple other good teams.
Yeah.
So it's an 8-team division. You do that all the way through. There's 66 teams here in Section 6. Do you think that would be a better product than doing it by school size?
Yeah, because there's more football we could play.
Okay.
I feel like our season is short. Like it's already we already got two games left.
Yep.
So it's like it's more football for us to play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could do it either way.
Yeah.
Truth be told. Like you could either you could realign, these divisions and everything like that to make it more suited for better competition every week, which would be nice because that way, if you're judging it by competition and constantly changing it, schools are going to see different teams constantly.
Right.
And I think that would be an awesome thing to see because there's a lot of cross-class competition that happens now just because a lot of teams understand who the higher teams are in those classes. Like say like a Lackawanna CSP game. I don't think something like that happens a few years ago.
No.
So it's already kind of going in that direction, I feel like, which is obviously a good thing for the sport. The more these kids get used to travel and, just going to different places and different level of competition and things like that, the better off you're going to be. Or you could just add in those games like that to a potential 12-week season.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say 10.
I think Boot said it best, man. Like, our season here is too short. I'm like, come on, just talking real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, the film that these two guys right here have, like, I don't play with guys from everywhere. Like,
Right.
guys that transfer from Alabama, guys from Florida, guys from all across the country. I go back and watch their high school film, you know what I mean? Just like, these are my teammates, so I'm just like,
Right.
my boy played linebacker. He's like, I used to play running back. Let me check it out real quick. But
Right.
so you just always end up watching guys' films that you play with. And like these two guys right here and a lot of guys in our area, the film speaks so many volumes for us to not have that many offers,
Oh, I absolutely agree. I was talking with Bryce Tubin maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and I asked him if he had any offers. He said just a couple of small FCS offers. Now, which is great for Bryce. I'm not taking away that he's got FCS offers. He could be a non-Power 4 quarterback. He could go to a UB and probably start. He could go probably anywhere in the MAC. Probably could go out Mountain West. I mean, Pac-12, there's only 2 teams left. I don't even know if we call that a conference anymore.
Oh, no, there's a new Pac-12 coming.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah, the new Mountain West. But that's kind of my point, and I agree with Dylan. Like, you couldn't have said it better. By the time we start our season, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, they're already like
4 or
week
5
3.
games in.
Yeah, they're already when we play
together the film.
when we played the team in Maryland, they was already like a game ahead of us or two games.
Yeah.
That was their third game.
Yeah, they was like
That's crazy.
they pretty much already had like team chemistry. So
And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the more you play football, the better you're going to be.
Exactly.
You know, if you get, like it used to be 7 weeks to a regular season
Yeah.
back when I played. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Like the only reason we played 9 games a year is because we weren't making the playoffs, so we were just going to play 2 more weeks just to do it, just for fun. And it just at the end of the day, you're only going to get better by doing it more. So you guys do a lot of work in the summer, a lot of work in the spring to make up for that. But in addition to just having the film, having more time to really create that team chemistry and truthfully become better to show to these colleges. At the end of the day, the more competition you face, the better you're going to be.
And plus, you look at those other states. Like, you go down to Texas, their high school football stadiums are comparable to, like,
College stadiums.
Highmark.
Yeah.
Or even better.
Shit.
Yeah.
they're better than
They're putting
Yeah,
six-figure numbers in high school stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
But that all comes from, like, revenue the schools generate. Like, if you want to,
Alumni.
like, get on the money side of it, right. If Bennett's out here winning championships back to back to back, not to throw Isaiah back into the conversation like we did week 1, but Isaiah's a guy who could come in and be like, oh, y'all are winning. Y'all play 10 games a year. You don't need All High. Go build your own stadium.
Word.
Or here's the money to buy All High. Like, when you have donors like that from these schools who are successful, they would be more willing to come back and, like, help out if it was worth it.
And plus, we've already seen this kind of from just doing what we've been doing just with the football report. I mean, the more of a culture you build around it, the bigger and better it's going to be for the football players for competition, the bigger and better that it's going to be, from the money side of things in order to put more money into a sport that, creates more buzz and has more culture to it. It's just, that's really the next step for this area as far as football goes.
And it's really the whole state.
Yeah.
The whole state. Because, when we went out for state semis last year, see a team like Tioga, who had their 45-game winning streak snapped this year finally, after 4 consecutive state titles.
Yeah.
Waverly's another team where they had 4 or 5 Division I recruits, and they're from that Section 4 area. There were Christian Brothers Academy.
CBA, yeah.
What was another one? East High School. Maine Endwell's usually always got some sort of Division I talent. So if those numbers are going to tick up, and then New York State becomes a football state, just like a Florida, a Texas, California.
And really by doing that, like you said, with the money side of things, you're just creating more opportunities for more people to get bigger in the sport to be able to come back and put back into it.
It's all networking.
No, facts.
That's all it is. It's all networking. And that's like what I've learned from college and everything. It's like basically you want to build a name up for yourself and stuff like that, but it's all about people who you know and like how you want to be able to pursue things and get onto what you want to do. Like for LITM, we're looking to get up to our 1 million. Like we're almost there, and we're just building on top of that, and that's just like off what we're doing right now. So I mean, that's what's going to help our even recruiting. I don't know how it is for you guys, like how you guys got your guys' interests or offers, but I know it's probably a lot harder out of here than it is if you were in Texas right now or Maryland, like you said, that you're getting a lot of exposure right there. You know what I mean?
It's almost like you guys are putting a lot more work into that side of things. And that's in addition to going to school, going to practice, going to work out, going to play the game, everything else that you got to do. So it's just a lot to put on you guys as student athletes, just to go out there and better yourselves.
It's a combination of a lot of things, man. Like starting off with the people that, these guys are here, just use them for an example. Y'all haven't, I'm not sure if y'all ever haven't, but played 7v, real 7v7.
Oh, I did. I got invited to 7-on-7 join the ATL.
You played with a different team outside of a Buffalo team for 7-on-7?
I ain't know none of that.
Yeah, I
everybody
got
was from
selected.
everybody.
Yeah, I got selected
said,
for that too, but I ain't go. I ain't done
You
that.
feel? But y'all see the difference in the culture though. Like Jack, you seen the difference in the culture of the 7-on-7 in other areas versus where it is in Buffalo right now though.
Yeah.
And even little things, bro. Like we don't talk about like y'all coming down to Georgia and training out there and everything, just because like how we have it set up here right now, it's not conducive for guys that are chasing y'all dreams to really do it the right way, and that's not y'all fault. And it's what I mean.
No, it's absolutely
sometimes,
not their
like,
fault.
But going into that though, it's like it's also not these guys right here, but it's also a two-way street. Because at the end of the day, like, man, if you can't train with all the bells and whistles, like you gotta get on your Rocky shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you gotta figure it out. Like you gotta chuck wood in the basement. You gotta do your 1,000 push-ups if you ain't got it.
Right.
So I mean, I think that the difference is like we don't have a culture of just go get it regardless sometimes. Like we think that if you have an excuse and a cop out, a lot of kids take it nowadays. And I think that at the end of the day, like the ones who make it from Buffalo, we all have same similarities. Like during COVID, y'all know gyms was closed down. Couldn't lift nowhere, couldn't go nowhere. Man, my uncle probably tell y'all about this. Me, my uncle, and Isaiah, we was garbage picking weights, like driving all through the city, driving through Buffalo, driving through Rochester, picking up weights from people's garbage on Facebook Marketplace, buying weights that don't even match each other. We got a rubber 45 here and a rusted ass metal 45 right there. And we lifting inside of a shed that's like, you know what I mean, patched up, like windy, wind busting through. Y'all know winter months of Buffalo. And we lifting, we getting it in like that. But it's like, shit, man, the gyms, we can't get into a gym. Schools is closed. Where else we going?
Right. And I
lift
mean,
that?
it's like I've said before, and I don't remember when exactly I said this, but it's like I've said before. Just about anybody that wants to work hard enough can play football.
Exactly.
Just about anybody that works hard enough can play at any level of football. It's about work.
It's that blue collar mentality.
And that really is the city of Buffalo.
And all the guys, I want to just tell the young boys, it's like, look at the guys from Buffalo that have played high D1 or went to the league. Like, I don't think none of them ran no 4.3 or none of them was that type of guy. They tough ass hard workers, And at the end of the day, that's the type of city we from. And nobody's gonna give us an offer because you from Buffalo. Nobody cares about, you know what I mean? You scoring. How many touchdowns you scored last year? Whatever,
Like
a lot to not. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that these guys have put on tape and done. If there was other places, they'd be 4 stars. Like, have a whole bunch of
absolutely,
offers, and
absolutely, because they would have had you guys were both varsity starters as sophomores. I'm assuming. Well, yeah, you were down there,
My
Franny.
freshman year.
Freshman?
Yeah, I was a freshman. I scored the game winner against Canisius my freshman year. Like they just moved me up like randomly, and like he called the play. It wasn't even to me. Like one of the players, Kynan, he told me to go in. I'm like, bro, like the game, like this is the game on the line. You want me to go in? Bro? He like, go ahead, bro. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I mean, it's football. Like I've like been there before. I ain't really like scared or nothing or nervous. I knew what I had to do. But the ball, I wasn't expecting the ball to come to me. That's one. Like, but I was open, so he threw me the ball. I scored. But then after that, I was on varsity after that.
All right. I got a question. I got a question since it seems like it's kind of the direction that we're going with what we're talking about. You guys have full control of, how football's played around here in high school. What is the one change that you would make to make it better?
You're only giving me one? Shit, I could take a 3 off the top of my head.
Well, there's 7 of us, so yeah, I'm only giving you one.
I think we should all get a different one for this one for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Let's start with the young boys. Ryan, what would you change about Section 6 football?
Like what we was talking about a few minutes ago, like the competition.
Okay.
Like public schools going against private schools, stuff like that.
What about you, Jake? What would you change about Western New York high school football?
I'd say extend the seasons because they too short. Like start them earlier, like how it is down south, and end it like in like December, like how it is down there. It'd be better for us.
Leon, what would you change about Western New York high school football?
Man, it's my own question. Honestly, I thought everyone else was going to know. I didn't really have a good answer for that one. No, I mean, there's just, like you said, I mean, there's just so much to pick one thing, to be honest with you. I mean, the two that they said are really, like, the big ones. But honestly, and this is going to sound kind of conceited, I'm not going to lie.
Go for it.
I think Western New York high school football needs more of us. You know, people that are willing to put the passion and the man hours into it, you know, the money into it to truthfully make it what we want to make it. Because we were coached by, we were just around a whole bunch of people that wanted different for the sport. But they never went out and did it. They just kind of went, well, it probably won't happen, you know. So, I mean, you know, the guys like you and me, the guys like Dylan, you know, the guys like everyone else that we've come across, it's not going to become a thing that other people are passionate about unless there is a huge force driving that passion.
No, absolutely, and I agree with that. By the way, we are taking volunteers at Western New York Football Report. Free plug
Always.
if we need to work.
Always.
Dylan, what would you change about Western New York high school football?
I'm mad I can only say one thing. I'm not going to lie.
Go for it.
Man, whatever is going to get these guys recruited. And that's like, just honestly, like, at the end of the day, like, this podcast we doing is cool. Like, the Instagram posts we do are cool. The whole linking in with businesses and all that stuff and, like, preparing these guys how to publicly speak and, you know, showing them what it's going to be like when they get to college and really deal with NIL. And really, like, all the preparation for stuff is cool. But at the end of the day, like, it's about offers, man. Like,
we got to get them there.
Put the scouts in the seats.
yeah, we got to put the scouts in the seats. However, we got to do it. However, we got to get the scouts out here, whether that's extending the season like we're trying to get done. You know, we have a petition right now to get that done, trying to extend the season. I mean, us guys that know people in other places, like, you know, I got some of my boys coaching Georgia. They want to bring their teams up here for a game. I know that, you know, same with some other friends. They got teams in Ohio, teams in Jersey, teams in Pennsylvania. All it takes is a text and people to, you know, support the mission and the vision. I think that if I saw him go against some 4-stars from Buford and Milton High School out in Georgia, I think he'll leave with some O's. You know what I mean?
He's at least to get some heads to turn.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think that, my bad, one last thing. I think that, like,
good.
The culture that we have here, there's not many, and this is like my problem with a lot of high school athletes right now. They pet, like, everybody is the same in this game. Football is football. When you play against somebody, they the same football player. Like, it don't matter if they got offers from here. It don't matter if they're from here. It don't matter what the case may be. Like, you know, you play with dudes that are first round type dudes. Like, played against dudes that are first round type dudes. They all the same type people. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch the film, there's gonna be plays where you see that talent. You see, like, okay, he like that, but you're gonna see, well, shit, I just got him on this play. Like, I'm like that, you know? I think that at the end of the day, like, we need to start holding ourselves, and our athletes need to start holding ourselves in the same mindset and mentality in regard of how people and athletes carry themselves in other places. Like, it's what they do. Like, these kids out in other places, like I said, I would leave to go train, and I'm seeing groups of 10 to 15 kids that's younger than me, high school age. You know, I'm in college doing this work. They in groups doing it, like, just coming in right after me getting it in. I'm like, all right, like, they know what they're trying to do. Right. And not all of them are superstars, but, like, the amount of the work, times that they've done it for months, years, whatever the case may be, like, they're going to catch up and get what they want. Oh, absolutely. I think that we need to build that mindset here of, you feel me, like, these two guys right here, like, they got blessed. They got gifts. You know what I mean? But, like, that don't mean that they're gonna make it right away. They got they gotta work. And, like, the guys that, you know, aren't blessed with the same type of speed or whatever the case may be, just getting open, quickness, like, what are you gonna do to become stand out, type basically of player? You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta work. And I think that here, guys either have the mindset of, man, shit, I'm good, so I'm gonna make it, because I'm not going to get somebody else that's as good as me every week, and I'm gonna feel like I'm that dude. But you know what I mean? Like, realistically, you're not, because you're not playing the comp. And I think another thing, and I've touched on it with I don't know if you know who Zach Boyes is. He graduated from Chem West. He led Cortland to a national D3 title last year. One thing he said when he spoke, he said that we got to work together as a section, whether that's you guys working out with somebody from McKinley, like working out with Cardell,
or you grabbing Bryce Tubin to throw you balls to work on routes, or whether that's Big Sam getting with Ty Richardson from Pioneer and working on, O-line, D-line stuff. You guys have to understand, you guys can hate each other if you got to play each other on a Friday, Thursday, Saturday. But after the season's over, go work together. Go find somebody who is like you,
Word.
Like for E. Ryan, hit up Cardell. Have him try to guard you one-on-one because he's going to get better, you're going to get better. Same with you being a wideout. Just find somebody at your position who you match up with on the other side of the ball and go get better. Use your resources.
My bad, bro. I don't mean to cut you off, but a lot of these boys too, man. Like I'm talking directly to the athletes right now. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? And like the reason why some of y'all be hating on each other, and like this just being real, the reason why some of y'all be hating on each other, or you know what I mean, like whatever y'all know what I'm saying, but it's because y'all not putting in the same type of consistency. Y'all not putting in the same dedication. And you know what I mean? When we post the same teams every few weeks, people get mad, but there's a trend and all that stuff. Like, yes, there's favorites. Yes, there's favoritism. It's the guys that do it the right way. It's
winners.
My coach, Lance Leipold, multiple national championships. Like, he took Kansas from being the laughingstock of college football to being a ranked team. And yes, he said, yes, like, I have favorites. It's the guys who do it the right way. Those are my favorites. The guys who are on time, which is early. The guys who come to workouts, who do extra workouts, who are doing everything the right way. Those are my favorites. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, if you are feeling slept on, if you feeling like you're not one of those people that's getting the recognition you deserve and everything, you got to ask yourself, like, are you doing the things to get that done? You know what I mean? And if you keep working and you're not seeing results yet, then it's just not your time yet. But if you keep going, it will be.
Absolutely. And then Cam, we kind of skipped over you, man. What would you like to change about Western New York high school football?
I think Leon and Dylan hit it pretty good. I mean, bringing recruiters in. I mean, this area. Just for football itself, and like let alone other sports. Like we have a lot of athletes that could go somewhere other than just going to small D3s and going. Like we have Division I talent in this area. Like a lot of Division I talent, and we don't have no like recruiters or nothing like. Even like an hour or two away from us, Rochester, they're sending kids to the league, high Power 5 Division I schools, and we don't see anybody really doing that unless they're really going somewhere, going to camps to get these offers to get these interests to these colleges and stuff like that.
And no, you hit it right on the head. I mean, all of us kind of touched on it. Extend the season, building the culture, get people here. The big thing is, guys, one team, one goal. Mm-hmm. Whether you play against each other, I spoiled my sauce earlier when no one was talking. I didn't want to lose my train of thought. But seriously, use the guys that are in this section that are good, better than you as a resource. Ask them, like, what do you think on this play? Send them film. Have them watch your film. That's your peer. He's going to tell you straight up what's wrong, what you did right, and how to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, really, I mean, whether you're a player, a coach, someone in media, or anything else for that matter, a head of the section or Monsignor Martin or what have you, we are all as a collective unit responsible for making this what we want it to be. The players are responsible for getting themselves better however they want to do it, whether they're working out or, iron sharpening iron, they are responsible for creating their level of competition. Coaches are responsible for getting the most out of that level of competition to keep it that way. We are responsible as media for making sure that all of that effort goes recognized, that all of that effort gets exposure, and that we can give something to show maybe these college recruits or something like that, like, hey, we talk about this kid a lot. And eventually it will get to a point, I hope, where someone's going to look at that from a college and go, these guys talk about this kid a lot. I wonder why that is. And then they break it down to why we talk about him and give him the coverage, to how the coaches created, the team and, the schemes and the ability for those players to shine. And then at the end of it, they see the individual effort that the players put in order to make themselves that good. I mean, really, it's top to bottom. It's everyone's responsibility to make Section 6 what it deserves to be.
100%.
I got a question for everybody. So, last week we asked the top fives
Top 5 players, yeah. What do you got? What do you cooked up this week?
We definitely gonna do it again. They gonna let's let them give their top 5, and let's give our most 5 underrated.
5 underrated
most
guys?
Underrated.
Oh, thank
And
God. I just
I don't know though. Like, should we?
Five
Y'all want to do
underrated.
5 underrated? Or y'all want to do top 5? I feel like top 5 is kind of easy.
I do underrated.
I'm gonna do underrated.
Yeah, underrated.
Yeah, let's do
Because we all know like
we know who
the top
five
the
is.
top guys.
we know who top
Like,
5 is.
I do
One
underrated.
of them's in this room, and I think we all said that the last time we were in here.
One of the 5, we do 5 underrated.
Yep.
If you're gonna do any teammates, though, only max of 1. Max of 1 teammate.
Okay. Damone, Allen,
Facts.
Franny's, my own tough. We play Lil D together. He been like that. Let me see. Jordan Freeman,
Facts.
my quarterback. He slept on a lot. That's 2. Who else? The kid from Timon, G.
Gerald.
Gerald.
Yeah.
Yes. He slept on. Who else? That's all that come to mind for me right now.
Just got 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.
That's cool.
What about you, Jack? Top 5 underrated players in Western New York.
I think 1, Amir Hernandez, Canisius, he
Okay.
underrated.
Facts.
2, Shamir Land, Bennett. 3, what he said, Damone Allen.
I
4,
don't think Damone underrated no more. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
See it now.
Might
He
not
is.
be.
These
They
last
see
few
it.
weeks.
He been
they
wildin'.
see
See
it
it
now.
now.
you been wildin'.
leads Monsignor Martin in all receiving yards.
Yeah.
That might not be too underrated.
He been snapping.
I got
4,
2 more.
Let me think. The one real tall receiver at Lackawanna. I forgot his name.
Oh, number 18,
I
Kobe
think,
Underwood.
I think. I'm not too sure. I
Or
just,
That's who it is.
the only other one I could think of is number 3 in LaShawn Braxton.
it's one of them.
Okay.
I know he tall. He go to Lackawanna.
I think that's Kobe Underwood.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Number 5. The sophomore quarterback from Timon, Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan.
He had a good game versus Canisius.
Okay.
That's gonna be That's gonna be interesting to see next year
Yeah.
when Dom come back.
I thought Dom was a senior this year.
Nah, Dom a junior.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
All right, Leon, top 5 underrated players in Western New York.
See, I feel like it's more difficult for us to do that list just because, we recognize just so many different players in so many different places that we truthfully almost don't even underrate anybody.
We do.
I know
We do.
I know we do.
We do.
But it doesn't feel that way as much as it should, One guy I am going to mention, though, really exciting sophomore to watch out of Will North is Cal Rogers. This kid's a Mack truck. He might be one of the smaller fullbacks I've ever seen line up for teams that are still even using a fullback. This kid just goes out there and hits. And he's the same exact way on defense. And to just be a sophomore, he was starting at fullback last year for him too. So, he's going to be a 4-year starter guy. He's going to make his way into the backfield in the next couple of years, getting the main totes. And honestly, watching what he can do now, that's absolutely terrifying.
Okay.
Who else you got? It sounds like you're only going to give us top 3, but
Yeah, I'm going to go as far as I can go. I'm going to be
okay.
honest.
All right, go for it. Who else you got?
Probably going to take one from you here. I'm going to go with David Van Horn out of Clarence.
Why you got to take what I was going to say? You're not wrong, but why?
You think of Clarence running back, you think of dynamic players on Clarence, and you think, Jeff Long and Bryce Dubin. It's easy. It's easy to do that, but just watching Clarence play and watching what this kid does on both ends of the ball, it's just, as a coach, I feel like that's a kid that you don't have to worry about. You know that no matter what you call, no matter where he is on the field, he is going to do exactly what he's supposed to do, and he's going to do it to the best of his ability. And the best of his ability is pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, David
You know,
Van Horn's
Not a guy
player.
that really pops out on the stat sheet per se, but I mean to actually go down and watch Clarence play, that's a name that you're definitely going to know by the end of the night.
All right, who else you got? You're at 2.
At 2. Damone's not underrated anymore. We all figured that out. Well, Jack, I got to give it to you. To be completely honest with you. I mean, with where you were one of the guys that I wasn't really too familiar with at the beginning of the season. Now you're here on the podcast. Now you're a guy that we talk about regularly. I mean, now you're a guy that, is, up there with this guy right over here, being able to, take the fact that, he gets a lot of attention and really just make your own out of it. And you do a hell of a job of it. This might be as far as I can go.
Oh, okay. I kind of figured as much. Dylan, who you got? Top 5 underrated players in Western New York.
I'm gonna go with Amir Hernandez for sure.
Okay.
Like, I'm a running back, so when I see good running backs, I kind of have a
You want to have more?
Favoritism.
I think that he definitely can be. I mean, I think that he has the tools to be able to be a high level running back. He just got to keep pouring into it in the off season and sharpen some things up. But
He young too, right?
he's a junior,
Okay.
so I mean, he got
One more
time.
year?
Yeah. But he knows how to run the ball, and that's the thing. Like I look at for backs is like, do you have a natural? Because I mean, you gotta just have natural instincts. Like plays break down in the garbage, you gotta know how to get boogie with nothing in front of you. So I like that when I see that him play, especially him being a return man too. Like him cribbing the kick, I'm like, okay, like
Right.
he got instincts. You know what I mean? So Amir Hernandez for sure. Nair Patterson from Sweet Home. I don't feel like he's underrated, but I just feel like Damari gets so much attention that
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that one.
yeah. Jimmy Valentine from Bennett. Came from St. Francis. Nickel running back. He just one of them players like, game day he a gamer. Like game day come like he locked in and he trying to win. He out there just balling trying to win. 2 more.
You got 2 more.
I'll say Harlem.
Harlem Brandon from
yeah.
Kent West. Yep.
Everybody think Harlem, you are a football player, bro.
I'm going to put him on mine too.
Like he think he a basketball player. He's gonna be with our 7-on-7 team. I'm telling y'all. But Harlem the type like if he really like locks in on football and you know what I mean, like
Right.
he could definitely be a good college football player, I think. And
You got 1 more.
should I look at the group chat, see who in there? Let me see. Hold up.
While you're looking, I did think of just one more.
Go for it.
And this is a kid that really goes unrecognized just because, I mean, like we were saying with a whole bunch of, farm teams and things like that, the big boys who are just, out in the sticks. I think a kid that gets overlooked just because, he doesn't exactly fit the mold size-wise. He doesn't exactly fit the mold, speed-wise. He's a little bit faster than most on that defensive line. I'm going to home cook a little bit, and I'm going to talk about Khalil Golden out of New Fame.
Okay.
He's a kid that's been in the Trench Trophy conversation, past few weeks. He just does something really special out there. The coach down there gave him an opportunity to basically line up as an extra blocker in the quarterback running game at running back. And he gets his totes too. And to be honest with you, he's really quick on his feet. He's really quick with his hands, He's really a technique guy more than anything else, but he makes it work for him. No one's going to line up across from him and beat him for 4 quarters. No one's going to get blocked by him and not feel it the next day.
Where
He's definitely a kid that puts it all out there.
gotta check him out. I think I got my last one. How did I forget that fast? Hold up. Oh no, Arnold from Canisius. Arnold Mabayo, I believe how you say
Okay.
his name. He just being real, like he's underrated. Just one because like when you think of Canisius, like you're going to see Eli and Jaden and Amir. You know what I mean? And Arnold, he is transferred from Hutch Tech, right? He wasn't there when you was there, Jack, was he?
Nah, he just
All
transferred this year.
So yeah, Arnold transferred from Hutch Tech. So like seeing him shift programs to a football school and me watching his film from Hutch Tech, I just see like a missile flying. But now when I go to see Canisius play, like I see a backer taking his read step and filling the hole. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all the things. I'm like, okay. Like that athleticism, that raw athleticism that he had, and this dude. I don't know if y'all seen him out of equipment, but like, you know, coaches would love to see him out of equipment. Like he's the type of going to visit, and a coach gonna be like, "Who is this kid?" Like, rocked up. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I think that like guys like him, like, can really benefit off of off-season type stuff because now that he's in a football program and his film is speaking volumes and he's gonna go on camps and 7-on-7 tours and stuff like that. And you know what I mean? Like his physique and his athleticism are gonna be a combination that a lot of coaches are attracted to. And I think that just because, you know, he don't play like a flashy position, he's
Right.
getting a lot of attention. But I think that's a guy we're gonna see start getting some D1 offers soon.
Okay. We'll
Catching
have to
him-
book it.
Catching him while he's still underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cam. Your top 5 underrated in Western New York.
I'm gonna go with the receiver from CSP, Hinsdale.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Amir too. Jack, I wasn't really familiar with you until this year. You honestly like put B2A to Jamestown. I'm not gonna lie. So you definitely on that list. I'm gonna have to put he's not underrated in my opinion. I'm putting Chase on there too. Bonta. He leads with Section 6 in tackles right now, and he's top 4 in rushing yards. Then I have one more, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go Underwood from Kobe Underwood, right?
Colby Underwood from Lackawanna.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's probably my 5.
Okay. I got Jackson Moritz from Maryvale.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of people talk about him, and they should. Another quarterback. I just did this on our Instagram story last night, so it's actually perfect timing. Let's see. He still won with David Van Horn.
Well, if I knew we were pulling out phones, I could have had this one on my top 10.
Yeah, but I literally just did my list.
I think we about to come up on the shot clock.
Alex Barmore from CSP.
Oh yeah.
Matic
Oh,
Isaac
yes.
from Salamanca.
Okay.
I also had Harlem Brannon and Carter Brink from CSP. He's an athlete, man. He's got 3 or 4 interceptions on the year. I think he's over 250 receiving yards with 4 or 5 touchdowns. A great pairing with Bryce Hinsdale and Barmore down there in CSP.
He a baseball player too.
They're all 3 of them are.
Yeah.
I think we about to hit time. So before we dip, I gotta these 2 guys. Tell us your why. Like, why should a college coach give you an offer, and why do y'all want to be college football players?
Just like where I come from, like my environment. Like I'm from a small city, and I just like want to show and give out like what we got. Like we got ballers down here. Like I want to show coaches like okay, like you're not the only one. Let's see if it's like other kids in your area that's like good as you or just maybe better at the time. Also, like my pops, like my dad, he's locked up. Like he was good at football too. He went to Sweet Home. He was like getting like heavily recruited as well, but like he ended up going down the wrong path. So I just like want to finish like what he started. Like every game I talk to him before every game, like that gives me fire. Like that puts fire under my ass because like I just want to finish what he you feel me? So yeah, that's like my why.
What's your why, Jack?
This dude's so silly, bro. I tell y'all.
He just
Like,
looked
My
The
why?
most serious question all day.
Nah, my why though, just to put Buffalo on the map. That's really
this guy's so
main
cool.
important.
Yeah.
That's really like the main reason to put Buffalo on the map. Show like people that we really like that for real. Like everybody not really better than us. We all like the same. We just never had the looks for real. I just want to give us the looks.
All right. Those are good answers, guys.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Anybody want to say something in there real quick?
I think we said all we need to say this week. We will see you guys again in 2 weeks. Thanks for tuning in.